Well, good morning, everyone. If you would not mind locating a seat, and we will get started. We'll get the fun started. So, good morning again. Welcome to the official opening of the Bedford Senior Activity Center. I know pretty much everyone in this room, but if you do not know me, my name is Mark Long, and I am the Director of Parks and Recreation for what I think is the greatest city in the world. So, thank you. You know, it is an honor to stand in this space with you today to celebrate the official opening of our new senior center. This day marks a very significant milestone for our community, and I am thrilled to share this special moment with each and every one of you. You know, the creation of the Senior Activity Center has been a collaborative effort of so many people, and I would like to take just a minute or 10 or 20 to recognize and express my gratitude to many of those who played a significant role in making this facility possible. There are not one or two people can pull a project like this off. I will argue that a remodel can be harder than a new build any day of the week. I've done both of them. I will introduce the general contracting team here in a minute, but when you have a good general contracting team, it makes things easier. So I appreciate everyone that was involved in this project. I will recognize each and every one of them by name. So when I call your name, if you would please stand up. You do not need to remain standing, but if you'll stand up and be acknowledged. I always hate it when people say hold your applause till the end, because the first person never gets to get applause. So what I will tell you is if you feel the need to clap, please do. So I would like to start out with our city council, who without them this project does not go, because we need them to approve the funding of it. So I'd like to recognize Mayor Dan Cogan, our Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Rob Gagliardi. Neither one of them stood up, so. Councilwoman Nichelle Dawkins. Councilwoman Joy Donovan Brandon. Councilwoman Ms. Amy Sable. Councilman Mr. Rich Steves. And not here today, Councilman Steve Farco. So I'd also like to mention our Senior Advisory Board, who the council approved to put together, Ms. Dawkins and Mr. Gagliardi, and the vote to make this happen. So we've been a little bit over a year, I think, that we've been making some good decisions for our seniors in Bedford here. So I'd like to recognize them real quick. Our chairperson, Ms. Gina Day. Vice Chair, Ms. Christina Schluter. Member, Mr. Carl Miller. Member and former Vice Chair, Ms. Patty Blum. Last Monday they took a vote. She didn't get voted out. I just want to make sure y'all know that. We just voted another Vice Chair. So, member, I don't think she's here, Ms. Ida Powell. Member, Ms. Becky Farrell. And member, Ms. Lucy Sneerly. And I would like to recognize the two most cool people I know, and I always introduce them that way because they are my boss, so I want to make sure they know how cool they are. Our city manager, Ms. Andrea Roy. And maybe a little slightly cooler on the scale because she's my boss, Ms. Karen Riggs, the assistant city manager. And her husband, Clay Riggs, came today. Clay, thank you. So those are the people that made this project happen from a financial standpoint. A lot of them. These are the people the next people I introduce are the people who were part of the design and construction of the project. The design firm of William Tharp Architecture, Mr. Jim Tharp. I know he's here in the back there. Jim and I spent a lot of time in an office with staff going through this building. Again, I will tell you that a remodel on an existing building is tough to do, so I think we knocked it out of the park with that. not to go back when we talk about knocking out of the park, one of the things council approved in the construction contract were 5 alternates, and I want to just tell you that one of the alternates that they did approve are the 4 windows behind us. So I do want to call that out and say that was probably the best money spent in this building. So thank you, Jim, for what you did and being along by my side throughout most of the project. So now the general contracting firm, HCI Commercial, general contractors, I kind of alluded to it, they can make or break a project, and one of the things I can tell you about HCI is not only are they a bunch of cool people, they absolutely, I would say, bent over backwards to make sure that this project was on time, was under budget, which I can tell you both those things happened. But you work along people. Usually a project lasts 12 to 18, maybe 24 months. This was about a 6-month project. So we got to know that team really, really well, really, really quick. And I know they're still in Bedford doing a remodel of a fire station. So they do tremendous work. So I would like to recognize each of them. Mr. John Young, president of HCI. And not too many presidents show up to job sites to go over and be a part of meetings, and I know, John, you came to several of them, so I appreciate your efforts there. Mr. Courtney Porter, Vice President. Mr. Jason Belcher, Field Director. Mr. Richard Wilson, Senior Project Manager. And really, a guy who I did not think would be here today, because if it's over 70 degrees, he's usually on a golf course. He might be in Vegas, but he is here today, so I can't thank him enough. Mr. Mickey Stevens, who is the Senior Superintendent. And he brought his lunch pail to work every day. He did a great job, and I know he got to work with my team on the Parks and Rec side. So I appreciate your efforts coming in every day and teaching us something and just getting the job done. So without your leadership, I know we may still be under construction. So appreciate you, Mickey. Mr. Hunter Young, he was the assistant superintendent on the job. I don't think he's here today. He's really not worth a clap, I don't think, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hunter's a great kid. So, and then Mr. Zane Smith, he was the project manager on this project. So Zane, I appreciate you, because we have what we call RFIs, requests for information meetings, to where there's a question that needs to be answered. Zane was really good about getting answers really quickly. So whole team, we appreciate you and everything you did to get us to the finish line. So again, thank you. Now I'll kind of go internal departments here for the city. Without this department, we're all kind of in the dark. Staff, residents. So I want to thank the communications department led by Ms. Molly Fox, director. Ms. Abby Aldrich, who is our content manager. So when you see things blow up on social media, that is the team right there that starts answering all the questions. So they make my job a whole lot easier. So thank y'all very much. And then I don't want to leave this gentleman out. He's always behind a camera. He makes you look good. He made me look really good in the 2 videos we did on this one. He was able to edit out any maybe language that was used during the video. So I appreciate him on that. We didn't need to bleep anything. So Mr. Tim Randall, our video producer. And then this gentleman is not here today, and I would not expect him to be here today, but he is our Director of Development, Mr. Wes Morrison. Wes is an incredible individual. He's probably one of the hardest working individuals we have here in the city of Bedford. He takes a lot of bullets, but through the process of this project, he oversees permitting and inspections and things like that, along with many other things. But Wes did a really good job of picking up the phone every time I called him and to answer my questions. And the whys is an inspector out here doing this, and this, and he was really patient with me and explained very well that I was wrong and that the inspector was right, and that we will correct anything that we need to. So I appreciate Wes. Again, if you see him, let him know that I thanked him. So. And then lastly, I want to recognize probably the most dedicated Parks and Rec staff that I've ever been a part of. They come to work every single day with a servant's heart. They're servant-minded. They come here to work for each and every one of you, the Bedford resident. So Mr. Hunter Hardiman, my recreation manager, who has been by our side through this entire project with his ideas and questions and things like that, so he kept me pointed north. I appreciate him. Ms. Faith Cloud, our recreation supervisor, who might have helped with colors and schemes like that and checked them. And then Don Henderson, who may have been the 5th person hired in the City of Bedford after incorporation because he's been here for like 45 years. He could not be here today. I gave him the day off because he worked extremely hard with the outside of this building. And what you will see here in the coming weeks is some plantings. We will start getting some grass here, and we will start getting some shrubs and some trees and things like that. So Don oversees our park side, and he will be over the crew that comes in here and gets this nice and pretty for us. So, and then I want to just recognize this special group, our Senior Activity Center staff. I'm going to start with Jarrett Thomas, our Senior Center Coordinator, back in the back. Mr. Dell Dawson, you may know him just as Dell, or the guy who has really good hamburgers, or Dell's Hamburgers, or whatever it might be. And then we have Miss Debbie Lovell in the back there. She's one of our part-time employees. She is at the front desk, so she is one of the first persons you will see when you walk in, so we appreciate her smile and all she's done for us. I don't think Bob is here. Mr. Bob Myers, he's also a front desk staff member. And then Miss Maria Tatum is a front desk person. So now, I'm going to spend a little bit of time here with this young lady, Miss Janelle Denton, who is our Senior Center Supervisor. So Janelle, you've been here, what, 5 years? I think you just made 5 years. So she started right before COVID or right after? Right before. So Janelle's title when I came on was Recreation and Senior Supervisor. One of the things I did when I came in to the City of Bedford and looked at our organizational chart, it didn't make sense that we had a Recreation and Senior Supervisor. And along with other positions that I was looking at, we did a complete reorg of the Parks and Rec department. And the one thing I did was call her in. I think I called you in and had a conversation. We may have just had a sidebar conversation about this, but it makes the story cooler if I say we had a conversation in my office. So one of the things I said is, you know, where do you want to be? You know, and she very much liked the recreation part of her name. I can understand that because recreation people are recreation people, parks people are parks people, senior people are senior people. So she was kind of in this area of who am I, what do I want to be? And she was very honest with me, and don't hold this against her, any seniors that might be here. But she said she really liked the recreation side and wanted an opportunity to do that. And what I told her, I believe at the time is I need to put people where I think they're going to fit best and do the best job. And she did just that. She understood what I was talking about. She came in, and I can't remember if it was a year ago or so. I think you nonchalantly told me that maybe I was right, and that she just said she I'm kidding, but she did say she absolutely loved the seniors, and she was happy that she was going to be the supervisor just over seniors. So the other thing is I know being at OBS for 5 years, you were hired when we went into OBS, right? That was your first office? Well, you just told me you've had 4 offices, so she has had one more than me. So, but being hired and knowing that your program is in a 4-room building and there's not much to do, and to stick with this program, I can't thank you enough. I'm proud of you for what you've done with this program and for where you're going to take this program. So this program is what it is today because of her leadership and her team. So well done, Ms. Janelle Denton. Thank you all. Well, as you can see, the center is a product of so many people's hard work, commitment, and vision for enhancing the quality of life of our senior residents. While the individuals and the groups I've just listed were integral in the development of this facility, they are not the most important people I would like to recognize today. So, if you are currently a member of the Senior Activity Center, or a member at OBS, or a member at Boys Ranch, if you are a resident of Bedford that falls within the senior category, would you please stand up? Thank y'all. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each of you. You see, this facility is for you, created with your needs, your interests, and your well-being in mind. I want to thank you for your patience. I want to thank you for, I said never complaining, but not complaining much about a 4-room building called OBS that has housed this program for the better part of 5 years. Thank you for adjusting and making the best of what I think we would all agree was not a good situation. Thank you for sticking with us even when there was no answer to the question, when are we getting our own building, Mark? And I can tell you that came often. And then once we knew we had a building, the question became, over the last few months, is when's the building going to be done, Mark? And that question also came a lot. But as I learned from Mickey Stevens with HCI, you always make them look like you're further behind than you are, so when you are able to open it sooner, they're happy with you. So thank you for that advice, Mickey. Well, I am happy that I can now give you the answer to both of those questions. Is we have a permanent home called the Bedford Senior Activity Center, which is located at 3524 Central Drive in Bedford, Texas. It's nearly 14,000 square feet of the coolest, most awesome, and active people I know in the city of Bedford. I can't wait to see what the future holds for this building. If we're doing this good today, I can't believe how good we're going to be in the future. So I think everyone in this room had something to do with this building, so I thank you very much. You can give yourself a hand. Now I'd like to welcome our distinguished mayor, Mr. Dan Cogan, to the podium to say a few words.
Mark, why do we have to be so tall? All right. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see so many of you here on this beautiful morning. Today's an exciting day in Bedford as we officially celebrate the opening of our brand new Senior Activity Center. Now, I know I speak for many of you when I say that we've been looking forward to this day for a very long time. Today is a day for celebration, and we have finally come full circle. For the last 5 years, our seniors made the best out of the old Bedford School's 4 converted classrooms, with staff even sharing the same room where folks played pool. To say this was not an ideal situation is an understatement. We could not continue like this forever. Prior to the move to OBS, the old center was not custom designed for you and your needs. Our seniors deserved more. The only question was, how? How are we going to do it? Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I was hesitant when we decided to purchase the old YMCA. There were a lot of unknowns and risks in buying another old building with the hopes of making it the new senior center. Regardless of the uneasiness, our goal was clear. We needed to make it right by our seniors, fix the mistakes of our past, and create a new home centered around their needs. Look at this building. I'd say we did a heck of a job. And I would argue that we have the single best senior center here in our area. To the seniors here today, we celebrate this brand new space built just for you, with all the amenities and features you deserve. This building isn't just bigger than our old center. It's better in every single way. There's a lounge to relax in, a dedicated fitness area, a craft and ceramics room, a library nook, and plenty of space for card games, instructor-led classes, and of course, billiards. We've added more staff, expanded programming, and extended the hours so you can enjoy this space even more. Now, of course, this project, like this, there are more incredible people that we need to thank. Although I think Mark thanked a lot of people, didn't he? Now, from people behind the scenes, like our capital projects manager, Gary Johnson, who made sure this building was done absolutely right, and even ahead of schedule. To our amazing staff and everyone who worked hard to make this dream a reality. To my fellow council members, who had the political will to do what is right by our seniors, I thank you. To council members Nichelle Dawkins and Rich Steves for helping bring back the Senior Advisory Board just in time to help make decisions on this beautiful facility. But most of all, I want to thank you, our seniors, for your patience and excitement as we work to bring this center to life. This is your space, and I hope you fill it with laughter, fun, and great memories for years to come. Now, in a few minutes, I'll have the honor of cutting the ribbon to this beautiful center and ushering in a proud new day for our city. This is a great example of what we can accomplish when we work together as one community. Our future is bright here in Bedford. Let's continue to build on this success and move Bedford forward together. Thank you. And now I'm going to welcome Mayor Pro Tem Rob Gagliardi to the podium to say a few words as the Senior Advisory Board Liaison.
All right. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. So this is the second building that I have had the privilege of being on council for, and I'm going to tell you, this has been the smoothest one yet. And thanks to staff, to Gary Johnson, to everybody for making this a wonderfully smooth development. So I say that, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad we're here today as we celebrate the grand opening of the Bedford Senior Activity Center. As a City Council liaison to the Senior Advisory Board, I want to convey how important it is for our senior community to have a space dedicated to health, wellness, and connection. We all know that staying active physically, mentally, and socially has incredible benefits, and studies show that seniors who engage in activities like exercise classes, games, and social events live healthier, happier lives. And now with this amazing new center, Bedford is making it easier than ever to have everyone be engaged, stay active, and most importantly, stay connected. The response to this facility has been incredible. Prior to it, our membership was around 550, and as of just recently, we've gone over 1,500. We have tripled the membership. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That tells that this space was truly needed, and we're also excited to welcome even more people through these doors. Whether you're here for a fitness class, a game of cards, or just a quiet moment in the library nook, there's something for everyone. And even beyond the structured activities, simply having a place to gather around and have some coffee is just wonderful. So if you're not a member yet, I strongly encourage you to stop by just for a cup of coffee and chat. Come see what the center's all about, meet some new people, and maybe even try something new. This facility isn't just a building, it's a community, and it's here for everyone. Thank you to everyone who made this possible, to our City Council, staff, the Senior Advisory Board. I lost my spot. Yes, Patty, is this where I motion to adjourn? Okay, I'm sorry. I look forward to seeing everybody enjoy this facility, and again, I'm very happy and proud of it. And as I said during our last Senior Advisory Board meeting, this is the best senior center in the area. And There are other relatively new ones. This is superior, and I think it's going to continue to grow, and it's going to be great. And with that, I'm going to take a pass and bring Parks Director, PARD Mark Long.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. So one of the things we do, we never thought in a million years that our numbers would increase like they did. So I said it, I think you gave the number of over 1,500 on October 31st of 22 when I started. I think we were at 358 or something like that. So you're looking at 1,200 new members in just a little bit over 2 years. So, and by the way, a lot of that was at OBS when we had 4 rooms and you were coming for one reason, and that was to do a game and then go home. So now we have a place that you can stay and hang out, drink some coffee. I know Mayor Pro Tem, he might come and have coffee with you every morning. I said I would not office out of here because I would never get done. I'd come and work out, and then I'd sit and have coffee, and I would not get anything done. So we want to thank everyone for coming today. We know how important this building was, as the mayor said. I do want to pivot just a little bit and say a thank you. Again, there are so many individuals to thank, and I apologize if I missed anyone, but I do want to bring 2 individuals up here real quick, Mr. Bruce Emery and Mr. Steve Otto, if you don't mind coming up here real quick for me. You have to come up here. So I'm gonna try to get 2 things done at one time, but Ernie Tangren, I wanted to bring him up here as well, so please tell Ernie that I tried to bring him up here. I understand he's in Atlanta today. So this gentleman right here, he's I don't know if he's Mr. Bedford or what. I know he gets very involved in a lot of things, a lot of boards. But he is also just an all-out good citizen, in my opinion. Reached out to me early on in this project and said he wanted to do something. And what I will tell you, I'm going to pivot real quick again, is being that this was an existing building, I've said this a number of times, is we have limitations when we got here. Y'all, when I say y'all, seniors gave me a list of about 54 things, and I think we were able to do 52 things in this building. And the other 2, we still do, you just don't have a name dedicated to you. So, but one of the things we wanted was a library. And this gentleman right here, Mr. Emery, reached out to me and he said he wanted to do something. And he said he was very specific with what he wanted to do, which is always good as a Parks and Rec director when they don't just say, hey, I want to do something, because then it's up to me to find out what I want them to do, which is hard. But he wanted to build the shelves in the library. He wanted to donate his time. He wanted to donate his material, and that is exactly what he did. Now, I will be honest with you, Mr. Emery. I deal with a lot of, I won't say what groups they are, but they come in and they like to build things in our parks and things like that. And sometimes they turn out great and sometimes they don't. So when someone wants to do something like that for me, I get really, really scared because I don't know. I've got to ask, how are you with woodworking and things like that? Have you ever woodworked? Is this just a project you want to take on? Are you bored? Can I get you doing something else? But he made me feel very comfortable with this project, and he came in and along with, I know Mickey with HCI helped him out and gave him some things that he might need. But Bruce, along with Mr. Steve Otto, put their sweat equity into that library, and they built and painted and provided all the books for the library. So I just wanted to bring you up here and say thank you both for doing that for us. And these are just certificates of appreciation. We will have a little plaque in the library that just says thank you. It was not here, but it will say thank you for donating that, and we really appreciate you. And then the second thing is more, I'll step to Mr. Otto here. And did you know you spell Otto the same front and back? He told me that one time when I asked him his last name. So, but Steve has stepped in, and one of the things he wanted to do was to see how he could help, and the way he wanted to help was to look at starting a foundation specifically for the senior center. And I told him, go for it. I love it. I've worked with foundations over the years with other senior centers, and they are truly, truly beneficial to the organization. So I know, I believe this week he just heard back from the Secretary of State that he got the go-ahead to go. So I'm excited to say that they will be working alongside the staff here at the Senior Center as a foundation to raise money for us to do all the things that maybe we weren't able to fit into this building. So, and I know he is also on you're a founding member as well of that. Now, what is the name of the board again? What did you end up? It's really weird to me. Bedford Foundation for Seniors. So it's a great name. So I would like to just thank you too for all you've done over the last few months for the seniors and for this building. So I appreciate y'all. And with that, we can go and cut a ribbon.